Imagine a world without plastic. Can you? It's difficult, isn't it? Plastic, that ubiquitous material, has woven itself into the very fabric of our existence. It's in our homes, our workplaces, our schools. It's in the coffee cup you sipped from this morning, the keyboard beneath your fingers, the smartphone you can't live without. It's in the toys our children play with, the cars we drive, the clothes we wear. It's even in the air we breathe, tiny microplastics, invisible but omnipresent. Plastic, this marvel of the modern world, has made our lives convenient in countless ways. It has shaped our habits, our routines, our very way of life. It's a testament to human ingenuity, a symbol of our progress. But like the two sides of a coin, there's another aspect to this saga of plastic. However, this convenience has a price our planet is paying. Plastic, the material we can't seem to live without, is choking our planet. This isn't just a dramatic statement, it's a harsh reality. Plastic is everywhere. From the toothbrush you use in the morning to the credit card in your wallet, our lives are filled with it. Yet the convenience of this material comes at a steep cost. Every year we produce over 300 million tons of plastic. That's equivalent to the weight of the entire human population. What's more, half of this is designed for single use, meaning it is used once and then discarded. And where does it all go? Well, it's not a pretty picture. A staggering 8 million tons of plastic are dumped into our oceans each year. This is the equivalent of one garbage truck's worth of plastic being dumped into the sea every minute. This plastic not only pollutes our waters, but it also harms marine life, as they mistake it for food. On land, our landfills are overflowing with plastic waste. Unlike organic materials, plastic doesn't decompose or break down over time. Instead, it can take up to 1,000 years for plastic to degrade. And even then, it doesn't completely disappear. It breaks down into small particles known as microplastics, which continue to pollute our environment. The impact of plastic on our environment is devastating. It's causing harm to our wildlife, polluting our waters, and filling up our landfills. The production of plastic also contributes significantly to greenhouse gas emissions, thus playing a part in climate change. All this, and we haven't even touched on the health impacts of plastic. Chemicals in plastic can leach into our food and drinks, leading to potential health risks. And the worst part? Plastic doesn't just go away. It remains in our environment for centuries, causing ongoing damage long after it has served its purpose. We've created a material that we can't seem to live without, yet it's slowly suffocating our planet. It's time to unmask the peril of plastic and understand the true cost of our convenience. Do you know how long it takes for plastic to decompose? It's a question that highlights a fundamental issue with our reliance on this material. The longevity of plastics is truly astounding. Some types of plastics can take hundreds, even thousands of years to decompose. Let's take a water bottle, for instance. That convenient disposable bottle that quenches your thirst can take up to 450 years to break down. But it's not just water bottles. Plastic bags, a staple in many of our daily lives, can take anywhere from 10 to 1,000 years to decompose. Then there's styrofoam. This lightweight material, often used in packaging, can take an incredible 500 years or more to decompose. And what about plastic straws? Those seemingly insignificant sippers can take up to 200 years to break down. The longevity of these materials has a profound impact on our environment. Each piece of plastic that isn't recycled or properly disposed of contributes to the growing problem of plastic pollution. This pollution infiltrates our oceans, forests, and even our cities, wreaking havoc on ecosystems and wildlife alike. Plastic's durability is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's what makes plastic so useful. It can withstand the elements, it's lightweight, and it's versatile. But on the other hand, it's what makes plastic so harmful. Once discarded, it remains in our environment for centuries, outliving generations of humans and animals. And here's the kicker. Most plastics don't biodegrade. They merely break down into smaller and smaller pieces, becoming microplastics that continue to pollute our environment. These microplastics can be ingested by wildlife, entering the food chain and potentially causing harm to animals and humans alike. So the next time you reach for that plastic water bottle, bag, or straw, think about the legacy you're leaving behind. A legacy that will outlive you, me, and countless generations to come. Plastic outlives us, and that's a problem. It's not just about longevity. Plastic harms our environment in more ways than one. Let's take a deep dive into the harmful effects of plastic pollution on both wildlife and human health. Every year, millions of marine creatures, birds, and other animals are victims of plastic pollution. They often mistake plastic waste for food, leading to starvation, injury, and eventual death. It's a heartbreaking reality that our oceans are transforming into a deadly plastic soup. But the devastation doesn't end there. The plastic menace is not just a wildlife catastrophe. It's a human health crisis too. Plastic is made of various chemical compounds, some of which can leach into our food and water. BPA, or bisphenol A, a common ingredient in many plastics, is known to interfere with our hormones. It's been linked to a range of health issues, from heart disease to developmental problems in children. But wait, there's more. When plastic breaks down, it doesn't just disappear. Instead, it fragments into tiny particles known as microplastics. These microplastics can infiltrate every corner of our world, from the deepest oceans to the highest mountains, and yes, even the air we breathe. Microplastics are so small that they can enter our bodies through the food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe. They can then accumulate in our bodies, potentially causing a variety of health problems. Moreover, the production and disposal of plastic contributes significantly to climate change. The process of making plastic releases enormous amounts of greenhouse gases. And when plastic waste is incinerated, it releases even more harmful gases into our atmosphere. It's a vicious cycle. We produce plastic, it pollutes our world, harms our health, and exacerbates global warming. Then we produce even more plastic, and the cycle continues. The bottom line is this: plastic is not as fantastic as we once thought. It's a pervasive, pernicious problem that we need to tackle head-on. Plastic pollution is a silent killer. It's time we listened to the alarm bells and took action, because the future of our planet and our health depends on it. We all have a plastic footprint, and it's bigger than you think. Imagine each of us leaving an indelible trail of plastic debris behind, an invisible path marked by our daily choices. This is our plastic footprint, a measure of our personal impact on the planet's plastic problem. The average person in a developed country uses around 300 kilograms of plastic each year. That's equivalent to the weight of a small car. Most of this plastic ends up in landfills, or worse, our oceans, causing harm to wildlife and ecosystems. Think about your daily routine. From the toothbrush you use in the morning to the plastic packaging of your dinner, every choice contributes to your plastic footprint. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? But here's the good news. We're not helpless. We can make changes in our daily lives that reduce our plastic footprint. We are all part of the problem, but we can also be part of the solution. What difference can one person make? A lot, actually. Have you ever pondered over that question? When faced with the enormity of the plastic problem, it's easy to feel small, insignificant. But here's something to remember. Change, more often than not, begins with a single step. A single person. You, yes you, can be that person. First off, let's talk about your daily routine. How many single-use plastic items do you encounter? The straw in your coffee, the plastic bag from your grocery run, the wrapper of your favorite snack, they all add up. Now, imagine if you switched to reusable items. A metal straw, a cloth bag, a reusable snack container. Small changes, but over time, they can make a big difference. Now, let's think bigger. You've made changes in your life, but what about influencing others? Remember, actions speak louder than words. When people see you refusing plastic, carrying your reusable bag, sipping from your reusable cup, they might just follow suit. You become a role model, an influencer in the truest sense of the word. And don't forget, you're a consumer, and that gives you power. Companies listen to their consumers. If we start demanding less plastic in our products, if we start supporting companies that are plastic-free, companies will have to listen. They'll have to change. Finally, remember this. Every piece of plastic you refuse, every reusable item you use, every person you inspire is a step toward a cleaner, healthier planet. You might not see it, but every step counts. Every step matters. Let's flip the script on plastic. Instead of asking, what difference can one person make? Let's start saying, look at the difference one person can make. Let's make it a mantra, a rallying cry. Let's make it a reality. Remember, every piece of plastic you refuse could be one less choking our oceans. It's time to act.